Alright, well, I figured I'd get this on video since I've never actually dealt with a piston problem before. I measured the squish before taking it apart. It's 24 thousandths squish, and that's with a flat top piston. Now you can see how rough the top of the piston is from the metal that it ate. I can't be sure whether or not that's from the ring, the top ring that came apart, or whether it's from the chip. And somehow miraculously the internal plating of the cylinder is fine, which is awesome because this is a built saw, a ported cylinder, so I get to reuse that. And thankfully the bottom end is also fine. And as far as I can tell, the piston rods and arms and everything are fine. It's just the piston itself obviously needs to be swapped. Also, the squish band in the combustion chamber is pretty rough because of that as well. It corresponds quite well with that. In fact, it's just the squish band that got roughed up. Everything else is fine. In fact, the center of the piston is fine. The center top of the piston is fine, just the outer squish band on the piston and the corresponding squish band on in the combustion chamber. I believe I can get the combustion band and the squish band inside the combustion chamber with a drill attachment, and with how cheap and abundant the aftermarket pistons are, I'm just going to swap that out. I have no doubt that this was resultant from wood coming into the saw and just being crushed between the exhaust flange of the cylinder and the piston. When you have this big of a hole of an open shot from the outside world right into the cylinder, I mean, I didn't realize it till too late. I realized it. I had a rebuild idea in mind. The saw actually works with the chipped piston. I didn't realize it was chipped. It required the low be taken out and the idle be cranked in, but it actually did work, which was funny enough. But then, presumably, the bottom ring on this has flex through most of it, but not in the front. I'm guessing that heat just eventually fused it up because you have so much loose metal that when I ran it for the video that I made for help with tuning, that it probably just fused and sealed that front little bit of the ring, because the remainder of the ring works just fine, and obviously you only need one ring for it to work. If that front wasn't just a quarter of a millimeter higher, I would dare say that you'd be able to clean this up, clean the top ring's groove out, put a new ring on there, clean up that top, and just run it. I mean, it wouldn't be optimal, but it would work. But that's not going to happen. We're getting a new piston, so time to take some measurements and go online and plead for help.